Hey everybody, it's Father Richard Gonzalez here. God knows we are guilty of many different types of sin. We also believe, hope, and pray that God is generous and forgiving. But because of this, there are actually people who wish to take advantage or exploit God's goodness. Therefore, never facing the reality of their own sin, never facing the reality of God's love. And because of this, never really repenting, never changing. And for some reason, there's also a lot of people, which I do not understand, are actually scared. They're frightened of God. And sometimes going through a lot of internal struggle, internal pressure to somehow try to, quote, get on God's good side by bargaining, by promising to be good and so forth and so on. They're struggling to believe in a merciful Lord. A lot of people are actually finding it difficult to believe that God loves them. And because of that reason, they're keeping themselves at an emotional distance from God. They are scared to trust, to believe in the tender mercy of God. They pray, or rather they plead to God about their worries. And as they're doing that, they're actually missing out on spending valuable, quiet time with God, allowing themselves to be loved. Now, I don't have all the answers, but perhaps these are reasons why less and less people are going to church, at least here in the United States. I'm sure you heard of the recent news report from the Pew Research Center, of which I have linked below, stating that if recent trends continue, if we continue doing what we are, if we continue on the road of which we are traveling today, Christians will make up less than half of the U.S. population by the year 2070. Which is in about 50 years. And this estimate is for both Catholics and Protestants, for both Catholics and non-Catholics. And this actually concerns me. It scares me to really think of the probability that the babies who are being born today, that the children who are being raised today, 50 years from now, will be entering into churches that are half full around the country. In response to the decline of church attendance, there's actually a lot of people who are saying that we need to change a lot of things within the church. For example, we need to improve the music, as they say at church, to attract young people with worship bands and sound and light shows. Well, guess what? It's been done already, and things actually became worse. Some people complain about the preaching, the sexual and the financial scandals. And because of COVID, people are actually preferring to watch a church service online at their convenience in their pajamas. And the list goes on and on. We can always complain and point fingers. There's always an excuse for not going to church. And the final answer, my friends, is not what is going on inside the church. The answer is what is going on inside your heart, your soul. My brothers and sisters, why are we being brainwashed? And if you can please excuse my language, why are we so stupid by being attracted to the glare of the media, pop culture, and politics that we don't even recognize God's presence, God's blessings right before us, and are grateful? Why are so many people running around all over the place looking for happiness, but wind up running into a brick wall? As St. Augustine said, "O God, our hearts are restless until they rest in Thee." Until our hearts rest in God, we will always be restless, seeking second best, third best, substitutes to fill the emptiness of our lives. My brothers and sisters, at the Eucharist, we are no longer empty. For at every Mass that is celebrated, Jesus presents or represents Himself to us. He is there before us as we celebrate, as we are witnesses to His life, death, and resurrection, as He sacrifices Himself upon the altar. And He says to us, "This is my body, this is my blood, which will be poured out for you and for the many, for the forgiveness of sins." My brothers and sisters, to be at peace with Jesus is true freedom. To receive Him is a gift, and His gift fills us to fulfillment. Why in the world, why on earth would we want to skip out on His fulfillment of grace, love, and mercy in the Holy Church. If for whatever reasons you have not been going to church, I invite you to come back home. And as we prepare for the next time to go to church, to go to Mass, may God bless you today, tomorrow, and always. And I'll see you real soon. If you enjoyed this YouTube video, consider giving it a thumbs up like, subscribing to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and hitting the notification bell and the All tab so you are notified of all future videos on my YouTube channel.